Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the April 29th Finance Committee for Union County Public Schools. I'd like to call this meeting to order with the approval of the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next, I need approval of the minutes from February 25th, 2025. Finance
So
Committee.
moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
First action item is budget amendment and transfer. Ms. McLam.
Yes, so in your packet, we've included several amendments and I think one or two little transfers, normal state fund increases that we've received. The one of most significance is we did receive quite a bit of additional EC funds from the state. And you'll see that on the state fund increase. We've had a few federal amendments, just some small numbers here and there, that we've gotten increases for in a couple of our risk pool and some things that come in later on in the school year. We did get some additional state lease bus funds. You'll see that in our capital fund. That's where those funds are recorded. As they are capital purchases. So we are making some additional purchases of some lease buses. And then some in our other special revenue fund is where we record all of our grants and other school level items that we get.
I have a question.
Mhm.
The bus thing, I thought it's in next budget. We have money.
This is state lease buses. So these are
Okay.
funds the state gives us.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. In our other special revenue, we've gotten a little bit more Medicaid money, some small school donations. It's a cumulative amount for donations to the school. These are the things that you all approve, and that you get on the regular board meeting, agendas. Then we have the state transfer, that's $16 million. That's the restart transfer. We transfer funds between state accounts to fund our restart schools. And then we had a couple of for purpose code reasons, we had a little transfer on the local budget for coverage of some purpose codes for testing. So are there any questions about any of these? Okay. That's it.
I have a quick question. On the restart money, is that the total we get?
So we don't get any additional funds. We have to take the funds we get, but
Right.
that's the total that funds all 5 schools.
So that 16 million is the total.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
No,
If not, I need a motion to send to the full board.
so moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next up is state teacher supplement payment. Ms. McLam.
Yes, so as you all remember a couple of years ago, I think this is our 4th year now that we have received state funds for teacher supplements. We make that supplement payment one time a year in May, just because it's a way to close out the school year and it's really for this past school year. So we make the payment with the last check in May to all of our eligible staff. This year it's $915, which is a little bit less than what we got last year. It was $936, I believe, last year. So it's right around the same dollar amount. Any other questions?
Any questions about supplement?
No,
Not, I need a motion to send to the full board.
So moved.
second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Next
Aye.
is school safety grant purchase. Ms. McLam.
Yes, so we, as you all are aware, we applied for some grant funds through the state to buy some safety equipment. We're adding some of the open gate. It's an additional open gate purchase, and as it is over $100,000, we are looking for your approval.
And Ms. McLam, will this give us a 2 at every high school?
Yes. It's an additional 10. Mhm.
And do you know what the grant was, what we received? Dollar wise?
It's $160 $77,000. So we're making up a slight difference, in the local safety budget.
Any questions on the safety grant?
No.
No.
Hearing none, I need a motion to send to the full board.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Next, school nutrition service software contract. Ms. McLean.
So this is the first time our school nutrition software had to go out for bid. We've had the same school nutrition package for quite a number of years, probably 15, 20 plus. So they have gone through the process and have worked with our technology team as well as the finance team to identify a software that is going to meet their needs. And this is the recommendation. It's called i3 Education. And so they're looking for your approval so they can move forward.
Any questions? Hearing none, need a motion to send to the full board.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Next is food contract rollover, US Foods.
Yes, so we've got several rollovers on the agenda for this time. This is a normal time of year. We bring these to you for the school nutrition department. So I've got them all listed as separate items. So we'll go through if you have any questions about any of them, but we can address those as we go. If there's any specific questions as we move through each one.
All right. So any questions on the US Food rollover contract?
No.
Hearing none, need a motion to send to the full board.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Yes.
Next is Ward's Food and Produce contract rollover. Any questions on it?
No.
Hearing none, I need a motion to send to the full board.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
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 Next is milk contract rollover pet. Any questions?
No.
No.
I need a motion to send to the full board.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Beverage contract rollover Pepsi bottling. Any questions?
Why can't we do Coke? No, just kidding.
I was just gonna say that. Come on.
There had to be one. Hearing no questions, I'll entertain a motion to send to the full board.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
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 Next, chemical contract rollover. SFS PAC. That's hard to say. If no questions, I need a motion to send to the full board.
So moved.
Second.
Aye.
All in favor? Aye. And last is ice cream bid, Hershey.
Yes, so this is not a rollover. This one is an actual, they went through the bid process and they're looking for the initial approval of the contract for their ice cream. So approximately 100 for 25-26, approximately 175,000 or almost $176,000.
So Shauna, is this a change? Have we not used Hershey in the past?
I think it's just that they can only roll over their contracts a certain number of times before they have to rebid it. So they've
Okay.
rebid it.
Very good. Any questions on the ice cream bid? If not, I need a motion to send to the full board.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right, informational items. Finance software update. Ms.
Yes.
McLean.
So I just wanted to do my update with you all for our software. We have been moving through the process. We've been converting data and working with our vendor to get that data input into the new system. Dr. Houlihan and I've had a couple of conversations. We're looking at requesting and letting you all know that we're thinking we need to push our go live date from July to January. The volume of data and the time that it's taking us to get this data input and loaded and vetted and just making sure really we're doing our payroll data at the same time we're doing our accounting data. And just making sure that we're on the right track with the project. We feel that it's the best thing for us to do is to move that go live date to ensure that we have some time to run parallel. We've been working with the technology team, and Mr. Parker's team has been very helpful with us pulling data and merging the data from all the multiple systems that we're currently using. And he strongly believes that that parallel environment for a period of time is key to being successful in your project. So we've talked a few times about that capability, and we're just not at a point right now at the end of April for us to be able to run parallel. So we really want to push that date. The reason it's so key is because we will have to renew our contract with Munis for another year. So that we can continue our accounting program while we're continuing to merge these three systems together. So that's really the update that I have for you all. I did put in our timeline, kind of where we're at, what we've been working through, and where we are on the project in the attachment.
And Shauna, that contract extension, that has already been budgeted, correct?
Yes, that is already in our budget. It has not been directed to any other purpose at this time.
Next is state budget update.
So there's not a lot for me to update you all on. It does look like it's the normal biennial, the long session. So there's been a lot of different versions, different things proposed. Right now, it appears that there's a couple proposals, and the percentages on the salary increases is probably going to land somewhere where we think between the House and the Senate budget. I know there has been some discussion about some bonuses and some one-time payments to teachers and other staff. If that is something that they do in lieu of using one-time funds, we may have to have some additional conversations, but it really looks like everything's gonna come together with what we've been planning for in our local budget. But other than that, I don't really have anything else.
Shauna, can you give an update on our projections for next year in terms of enrollment and ADM?
So the way it's going to work for next year is we will be funded at the beginning of the school year based on our current year enrollment. So our 40th day enrollment will be how we're funded for next year. If our enrollment increases, then they will provide additional funding. But as in this year, we were funded for additional, we were funded for more students than we had this current school year. So that has, we're planning for next year for some reductions, and we've made those adjustments for enrollment for next year. It's impacted the state budget about 25 teaching positions. So we've made those adjustments as we've allocated positions coming out into this coming school year. So hopefully we will hold steady, but what the state has done is instead of trying to impact a budget that is already in place in a current school year where you've already done your hiring, they're making those adjustments for the next school year. So we were not adjusted in this school year for any loss of enrollment. That will happen in the next school years. But if our enrollment goes up, they will fund that additional enrollment. Where in years
What is our projected?
you had to absorb it.
What is our projected enrollment for next year?
So right now, all we can go on is our 40,870, which based on our demographic information that we have, that seems to be right in line with what, there's a few pockets. So we've made adjustments in our allocations in those pockets that have had some growth. So there is some growth in the county. It's just overall, we're not, we're not exceeding that number. So we have made those adjustments where we have had pockets of growth. But it appears that that number is going to hold steady for next year.
And what was our funded enrollment for last year?
41,423. So it's about 500 kids.
Okay. All right. Any additional questions for Shauna?
No?
If not, our next meeting will be determined based
Well-
on, I'm assuming, our local budget.
Well, that
Um,
and I wanted to mention that the normal scheduled meeting for next time is the day we return from Memorial Day. So I don't know that that would be the best day for us to try to have a meeting. So it might be that if we have a budget resolution and where we are with our budget, we may need to have a meeting maybe later in that week or right before the board meeting. So we can see where we're at that point.
Okay, very good. If there's no additional questions, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second,
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.
have a good one.
Thanks.
Thank
Have a
you.
good